By this time, USA, why? Oh, hello. My name is Carla Boss, the only boss. Wait, one is people. When you see me like that, it's all about good news. Why? Because TapTapSend is making life so easy and convenient for everybody. So, are you ready for the good news? Hello, come and tell us. Okay, thank you. So, TapTapSend brings to you the double referral bonus, which runs from now to the end of October. Now, all you need to do is to tell your friends, your family, your loved ones who live in the USA to use your referral code when sending money with TapTapSend. And they get an instant $10 free. Wait, and you that they are using your referral code, you are going to get double your referral bonus. Initially, if you're in the Europe, you're supposed to get what, €5 for your referral bonus, but now it's a double promotion, so you're going to get €10 instantly. In Canada, it's also double, so that means 10 Canadian dollars. And if you're in the UK, as usual, you're supposed to get what, £5 for your referral bonus, but now it's double. So you're going to get what, £10 just for you. Let the people in the USA know what's going on with TapTapSend. Let them use your referral code and they are going to get money, and you're also going to get money. Oh, but get to know that this promotion is only targeted for USA. So meaning, if you refer someone who lives outside USA, you won't receive any bonus. But also, if you are living in the USA, you can also participate in this promo by referring people within USA to use your referral code, which you can find on the app right here. With TapTapSend double referral bonus promo. It's a win-win affair. Download TapTapSend now on Google Play and App Store. TapTapSend, it's secure, convenient, easy, and fast.
Guys, I welcome you live on SBTV Africa. You know, when it comes to social issues, entertainment, it's SBTV Africa. Today, my flight, DHW 1642, I'm flying straight to Zambia. I'm going to have a chat with one Zambian there to tell us more about him and what he's into and all that. So if you just chance on our channel, this is SBTV Africa, you can also join us on our channel, subscribe to our channel. If you want to come, my numbers are on the screen: 0244 790902 or 0240 677 If you're outside Ghana, you just have to add the +233. That's all. I'm in Ghana here, and I'm moving straight through the internet to talk to Imfaso Sakala. So I have with me here human rights defender of Imfaso Sakala from Zambia, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Imfaso, in short, Imfaso, I welcome you live on SBTV Africa. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm doing well, and I hope you're well too.
Yes. I'm doing fine here. I saw a little profile about you on social media with some of your challenges and all that. A quick one, you can tell us more about you, and then maybe you also educate us and all that.
Okay, so just a quick one. So my name's Imfaso Sakala, and I'm an intersex activist from Zambia, and I also lead an organization which I founded called Intersex Society of Zambia, which is a non-governmental organization which exists to facilitate for the recognition and protection of the rights of intersex persons in Zambia.
Okay, nice. So now you tell us about you before we go about your organization and all that. When you talk about intersex, today you are coming to educate us. When you talk about the intersex, yourself, are you intersex?
Yes, myself, I was born intersex.
Okay, tell us
I'm
about
part of the community. So when we talk about someone being born intersex, we are talking about someone, in simple terms, who is born with sex characteristics which do not fit the typical definition of how we understand as someone being born biologically male or biologically female. So in short, it means that an intersex person is born with a mix of sex characteristics or traits which are from male and female. Because there's normally this misconception that intersex people are born with two organs. And when we are talking about the organs, we know the organs people refer to is the external genitalia, which is not the case. Because intersex people, in a nutshell, they are born with a mix of sex characteristics of a male and a female. So when you're talking about those sex characteristics, we're talking about the biological makeup of a person. Like, for example, you say, if today I was to ask what makes you say you are biologically male, so there are those sex characteristics which you are going to name. And if I meet a person who identifies and they are saying they were biologically born female, what are the sex characteristics which would distinguish them from male in terms of biology? And we're talking about sex characteristics, not just any other features. Like, for example, people will tell you, no, women have got long hair, men keep short hair, not those, but we're talking about the sex characteristics. So what are those sex characteristics?
Yes, tell us about it.
When you look at intersex, you find that when you look at the genitalia of a person, right, most of the time when a child is born, for you to determine whether that person or that child is male or female, you look in between the legs, right? So you find that we depend on the external genitalia of that child. So in most cases, you find that those cases where an intersex child is born and they'll say, we cannot determine whether this one is male or female, you'll find that they are born with what we call ambiguous genitalia. When you look at that genitalia externally, you cannot tell whether you can categorize this child as being male or being female because of how the external genitalia develop. And when you talk about genitalia, it's not just external, it also extends internally. So you'll find that female genitalia internally, we expect a woman to have a uterus, to have a womb, to have ovaries, to have fallopian tubes, you see. So you'll find that I'll give an example of, because when you look at intersex, it's not like it's a variation which is a one size fits all. Intersex, as we speak, has got over 40 variations, and each variation is different. So if you meet me today and I tell you that I'm an intersex person and my biological makeup is like this, it doesn't mean that the next person you meet who will tell you they are intersex, it will be the same. It's different. So it's a spectrum. The same way we've got people with different heights, it's the same with intersex people. The variation will not be the same. An example would be, for example, a female born with external genitalia, maybe with an enlarged clitoris, but if you check internally, they don't have ovaries and they don't have a uterus. And maybe you find that they've got undescended testes. Okay, so when you look at intersex, it's a spectrum on its own. So it's not like it's a one size fits all. But what the catch is, you'll find that intersex people are born with a mix, and I repeat the word, a mix of sex characteristics of biologically someone born biologically male and biologically born female. So when you look at intersex in itself, it's about the sex characteristics of the person. And you find that intersex persons find themselves in the middle. They cannot be classified as male or female. They are caught up in the middle. And when you dig deeper to find out now about intersex, what is it? You find that when you look about what sex is, it's the biological makeup of a person. And here we've got male, here we've got female. And you find that in between, that's where you find intersex people. And most people will ask, what is intersex? Actually, intersex for me is also a sex category.
Okay, so let's talk about you. Are you a male or you are a female, and why do you call yourself intersex?
So why I call myself intersex is because of me being born with mixed traits of male and female. Today, we are chatting here, and when you look at me, you say, oh, this one is male presenting. But I can share with you that I was raised female, actually.
How?
So when I was growing up,
it's quite confusing.
So let me try to get back so that I don't. If you are saying it's getting confusing, I also don't want those watching this show to get confused. So let's go back. A child is born intersex. They look between the legs. They cannot determine whether this child is male or female. It means this child is born intersex. So remember, I said intersex is the biological makeup of a person. So it's about the sex of a person. Remember, when you go to society, society expects a male person, a female person to behave a certain way and to present themselves a certain way. So when an intersex child is born, parents are left with a dilemma of how they will raise that child back in society. And this is where now parents will have to choose which gender to raise that child. Yeah, so we talked about the sex of the child being intersex. It's in the middle. We go to society. The society doesn't have the middle. The social construct is that you are male or female presenting.
Yeah, because that's what I was just about to ask you.
Yes.
So far as you have now, so far as you have a penis and penis and vagina, penis stance means that we know as a male. Okay, when you have penis, you stand as a male. When you have vagina, you stand as a woman. So when you begin to say the time you were born, then it looks confusing, because me, I will say, okay, you have penis. Do you have penis or not? Or you don't have penis, or you have vagina? Then I know where we come from.
So the issue is that for me, I don't even have a vagina. So now, getting
you
back
you don't have vagina, but you have penis.
Yes. Now getting back to.
So you are a man, right?
Yes, I am. So yes, now listen, so that I don't lose you now, the thing is this. Also, what was confusing, because it's not just about parents, even doctors themselves, you find that they can't assign a gender for that child, especially when they are born with ambiguous, not clear genitalia. So what are we saying now? So you find that in the past, things have evolved. Now things are improving, and there's more information on these things, and there are studies being done. In the past, you will find that there was what they would call a phallometer. So they'll measure the length of the penis of a child. So if it doesn't pass a certain length, then it will be considered a clitoris, right? So you'll find that in my case, that is what happened. That is what happened. So it would be maybe considered as an enlarged clitoris. You see.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about other features. Apart from you saying intersex, you were born, did you have anything, maybe breast or something, or what else did you have?
So for me, I started growing breasts actually.
So you have breast.
Even if I wasn't born with a vagina, you'll find that I'd started developing breasts, and I have breast tissue.
So you have breast.
So already, yes. So that is yes. So that is a feature of a female. And when you look at the genitalia, it's the features of a male. Okay. Internally, now we are going internally now, so that you find that internally, I have on the right hand side, I have a testicle. The other side, I've got an ovary. So I've got both ovarian and testicular tissue. Going by biology, you know that testicular tissue is for males. ovarian tissue is for a female. In that in itself, it will tell you I'm born with a mix of male and female sex characteristics, because I will not be able to be classified as male or female because of the mixed features which I have.
But how do you classify yourself? Do you see yourself as a male or a female?
In terms of the sex, I'm neither male nor female. In terms of the gender, as into what society expects, in terms of the binary, I align myself to the male side.
So you are a male?
Yes, I'm a male,
Okay.
gender-wise.
Okay.
Biologically speaking, I'm intersex.
Okay, let's get to know how all these things started. Let's see family. How were your parents worried about when you were born, your condition and all that? Tell us about it.
In terms of my family, you know, our culture, traditions in Africa, you find that when it comes to issues around sex, you can't openly start talking about these issues with your parents. So you find that you have questions, but there's no one to give you answers to those questions. Because I went through, because you know, when you are growing up, because for me, people ask me, when did you, because I was raised female. So now, when did you learn or when did you understand that you are different? At a very young age. You know, when you are kids, you play openly and you're free. And you know, when you get to understand the bodies of your friends, and you look at them like, oh, I'm not like them, I'm different. And also, when it comes to family, it was also very, very, very difficult in terms when it comes to them. So even talking about these things, I started talking about these things later in life, and that was after I even finished my, I think that was maybe in 10th grade. That's when I started having conversations with my mother, and that was pushed because of issues around having girlfriends. Because each and every one of us, saying like everybody else, I dreamt to have a family and settle. I wanted to marry and settle. So when I looked at that, I was like, oh, look at my documentation. In terms of my national identity cards, it says female. The person I'm seeing, she's female. And if we look at our laws, that it does not allow. So I started now having those troubles to think around. So how is my life going to be? So now I was forced to start asking my parents, what really happened? Why was I raised female? Why am I being called female when I don't even have a vagina? What really happened with me? And that's when I even got to hear about the story. To say, oh no, when you were born, doctors could not determine your gender, and we were just told to get you home and raise you, like any other child. And we chose to raise you female. And it's only now that I understand.
When you talk about you were raised female, we will get a bit confused. Meaning your mother raised you and she was what? She was dressing you like a female or what?
So I was putting on female's clothes. I had a female name. I went to a female's school. So that's what I mean.
Oh, so how come your mother was raising you that side as a female?
So remember, doctors themselves fail to determine my gender. So even if doctors can fail, what more of parents? So they just had to choose a gender in which I would grow up in. So I needed to be identified in society, and that was the closest. So and I think another thing which I've learned is that I had the opportunity to ask them, why did you raise me female? And they shared their reasoning behind why they raised me female. And
what did they say?
Trust me, I appreciate it. They said, you know, when we look at culture respects a female's body. And we felt you'll be safer raised like that. And when I think of it, it makes a whole lot of sense. And I'm sure you and I will agree that a female's body is more protected, I think, than the male's body in terms of even just raising a small child. You will not allow a female child to walk naked. Yet you see a boy child walking naked. Yeah, so that was the rationale behind that, to say we felt if you are raised like that, you'll be more protected because society protects the girl child.
You don't know whether you said intersex. I mean, like, are you worried yourself, try to do something, I mean, about yourself?
When I was growing up, before I came to understand what really happened, why I was different, I thought about committing suicide so many times because I felt God had neglected me. Why was I born this way? No one will ever love me. Maybe it's true that I'm cursed, because people will tell you that intersex people are cursed. Intersex people are demon possessed. So I didn't want to be associated with that. And I hated that, actually, to the point where I wanted to commit suicide. But when I started having these conversations, and also just trying to have conversation with my mother, also someone who also was there spiritually, in terms of sharing with me the word of God, God loves you, this. The time I accepted myself, that I was wonderfully and beautifully made in the image of God, that's when I saw my life change. So acceptance is the first thing. So when I accepted myself, I saw a change.
Do you have siblings?
I'm the firstborn in the family of 7.
Oh,
Yes.
firstborn.
Yes.
So tell us about it, your condition with your siblings. Do they make fun of you with your condition? What do they say?
With my siblings, none of them ever made fun of me, because I think the way we would relate with each other, the way I carried myself,
Maybe they
they
call you
understood
names
me.
when they get angry. Maybe one or two get angry with you or something. They call you names, or they will say something bad or something like that.
It never happened with my siblings,
Hmm.
luckily. Yes. And I think also being open to share with them who I was, and also just trying to share with them and to learn that this is how I was born, and there are people like me. I will not be the first they'll see, and I will not be the last. And they were very receptive, and I think I've worked with them in my journey, and also just trying to make sure that they, just like the same way I'm sharing with other people to learn about intersex, they've also learned that intersex, and intersex, this is what it means, and there are people out there who are born intersex, and it's not just me.
But do you have any feeling? I know definitely you might need a partner, or you might go out with somebody. Do you have feeling for a woman or a man?
I love women. I've never been in love with a man. I have attractions towards women. I
You
love
love
women.
women. Are you
I
married
love
now?
women. Not yet, but
Oh, so
soon, hopefully.
okay, so you have a girlfriend.
Yes, partially.
Okay, okay. So
I'm
she
just
knows, definitely
joking.
knows your condition. So what has he said about it?
I have an encouraging girlfriend who's been there for me. I think, when there are times when you'd worry about your life here and there, and they're always there to say, what? Did you create yourself? There's a purpose why God created you this way, and they're always there to encourage me. And I'm lucky. I think I'm lucky to say that I've got a supportive girlfriend. Yeah.
But why do you still call yourself intersex? You've explained all these things. You have a girlfriend now. You still stand as intersex.
It still stands because biologically I cannot be classified as male or female, because it's
Oh,
not just about the genitalia. Ne? Yeah, but because when you talk about the sex, it's about
but but
your
but
biological
I asked
makeup.
you at a point, and you said, "Oh, you see yourself, though intersex, but you see yourself as a man because you have a
That is in
manhood,
terms of
right?
the gender. That is in
But you
terms
have a
of the
manhood.
gender. Yes,
So do you have sex with your girlfriend?
I do
Do you get
sometimes,
hard?
extremely.
Oh, and you enjoyed it when you're having sex with her.
Yes.
Oh, then, Charlie, you are a man now.
So let's get things clear here. In terms of the biological makeup, there's a classification for someone biologically born male and someone biologically born female. That is why,
Okay.
for me, okay. And another thing I think I should also share when it comes to the sex, in terms of why I stick to intersex, It holds a lot of issues which speak to me. So I'll give an example of, I normally tell people this. The biological makeup of a person is very important because it also entails what kind of services you're going to tailor for that person. If we're going to talk about health, for example, if I go to the hospital, I've told you that I've got internal mixed male and female internal sex characteristics. So if I want to be holistically attended to, that doctor needs to know that I've got a mix. I was born intersex. Then you look out to say, I may be able to find, if we scan, we should be able to see this, we should be able to see that. They should not be surprised if they scan and say, what is this? Ah, we've scanned, you've got maybe an ovary. How come, but you are male? So when you present that, because I've told you that I've got breast tissue, it means I need to have breast cancer test done. So if I'm going to say, no, I'm male, you'll find that people will not take that seriously. Though now I hear men also go for breast cancer screening, but mostly that is done for women. So if people do not know that I've got those characteristics, certain services will not be offered to me. So it speaks a whole lot of things in terms of access to services.
Let's talk about stigma in Zambia. Knowing your condition and all that, people get to know you and all that. Let's talk about stigma.
Stigma everywhere is real. It's not just about intersex people. I'm sure even you, as someone who's not intersex, has faced stigma and discrimination at some point. It presents itself at different levels, but it's more when, especially, what people don't know. There's this phobia for things people don't know and things which they don't know about and which they don't agree with. So you find that also when you look deeper and also understand what intersex was called in the past, where you find that intersex persons were referred to as hermaphrodites. If you look at the classification or the meaning of what hermaphrodite means, it means being born with fully functional male and female organs. And this is where this misconception of saying intersex people are born with two organs comes from. And you find people will tell you those are people who are born with two things, meaning the penis and the vagina. No, those ones can pleasure themselves. No, this one is a tomboy. No, you are cursed. So stigma will present itself at different levels, and you find that it spans all through the different sectors of life for an intersex person, be it in health, be it at school, be it in families. I may be lucky that my family did not discriminate against me, but it's not the same for other intersex people. People are living in harsh environments. People are being stigmatized every day, discriminated every day, even just access to health. They find it very difficult. So in terms of stigma, I don't think there's any person who can say I've never been discriminated, but it's heightened when it
I
comes
was about to ask you, apart from your family that you said nothing like this happened, what about your friends, your close friends that you have?
Like now, for me, I think I'm a person who is real to people and to myself. I'm blunt about things. So luckily, I don't know, maybe I can say luckily, most of the friends I had, whether they didn't understand that I was intersex or not, they accepted me the way I was behaving because they didn't know anything. Some of them learned even 15 years later when I came out as an intersex person, and some were like, we were with you all this time and we didn't know that you are intersex. But for me, what I appreciated is they took me as I was, which is a plus for me. I would have others where they were not close friends and they'll still discriminate, especially those you go to the same school with. They'll call you all sorts of names. And yeah, I think that's what I can say.
Oh, I see. But let me know this. So after going through all this, how did you get the courage to come out to fight for this and all that?
The courage, it's very difficult to talk about the courage. Maybe sometimes I see it as maybe an inborn thing, but what pushes me or what pushed me to get to where I am in terms of now doing advocacy, it's reflecting on the things I went through as an intersex person. And also when I started knowing that there are other intersex people like me and understanding that this starts at birth. My thought was that, okay, so what happens to those children who cannot speak for themselves? If parents are confused, how are those children? So it pushed me to say, I want to be a voice for those who cannot speak for themselves. And that's how I got myself to where I am today. I think there's been time, I must confess that there's been times where I'll say, I think this is too much. I just want to stop. The moment I say that, then I receive a call, someone needs help. I'm like, oh, okay. I think maybe I was called for this. I think each and every one of us has got a purpose. And for me, I feel maybe this could be a purpose.
Sometimes we get a bit, we see all these things, we hear all these things, like you are saying, intersex. At this time, they go for women. At particular time, they switch for men. They are saying they don't know because they are just swinging like that. This one will go and change man. He's a man, but he says intersex. They will go for men. At another time, they can go for women too at the same time. Don't you think you can just be bold and just be at one place, as you are telling me now that you have a girlfriend and all that? Are you not okay?
I mean, for me, I'm okay because I think what I can say is also, I think we can agree that not many people understand what intersex is. And you find that, but in terms of saying, maybe I'll date this one today, or I'll date a male today, I'll date a female tomorrow. I think for me, that's not the case. So for me, yes, I was born intersex, I identify now as male, but my attractions are towards the opposite gender.
Fast forward, what is the vision? What is the plan? You are pushing for this. What is the plan? What do you want to intend to achieve?
So in terms of achievement, I will use the vision of the organization because I think that's what I stand for. I think when it comes to the vision of the organization for us is to see a Zambia where the rights of intersex persons are upheld by all. We want to see a situation where intersex persons are recognized and they are protected. Because when you talk about rights, we are not asking for special rights. All we are saying is that we are human beings, and can we be respected the way you respect any other human being?
Do you have a lot of intersex people in Zambia?
Currently, I would say, it's difficult, but I would say the number is bigger than I anticipated. And each passing day, we find that there are increasing numbers as to how many people are reaching us. So when we started, you find that you have maybe one person, you'd find that maybe you meet maybe 4 people in a year, but this time is different. You find that maybe in a week, two people reached out to you. So the number is growing because I can just quickly share like how many intersex persons we work with, because I think currently we are working with more than 57 intersex persons, and our youngest being below the age of 1.
When you come in contact with them, when they call you, what are some of the things that they discuss with you? Some of their challenges?
So some of the challenges is how to navigate, how do they, especially I will talk on for parents first because we deal with babies as well. So for parents, they don't know how to raise the child, whether to identify that child as female in terms of the gender or as male. And for those who want their children to start school, they'll ask, is my child safe in school? For those going into secondary school where they want to go into boarding, they'll ask, which place is my child safe in boarding? What are the things we can do to make sure that our child is safe? In a case where they see that their child is having difficulties in terms of accepting themselves, you find that they'll reach out to us for counseling, because we also have support groups where we have intersex persons meet and share their experiences, because that creates an environment where they can have peer support, and it also helps them learn that they are not alone. because most intersex people will feel that they are the only one and they will live in isolation. So for intersex persons themselves, you find that they are also asking in terms of, so if I'm like this, will I be able to live a normal life just like anybody else? Will I be able to have children? Will I be able to marry? Will I be able to get married? If it comes to work, how do I present myself? Others who are working have found difficulties with their employers because of the way they dress. Because it's not every time that you are going to present to people that, no, I'm an intersex person. So those are some of the challenges. For some of the challenges, you find that it's access to health.
In fact, oh,
yes.
Would you like to have kids before I leave you?
If God blesses me with kids, yes, I love kids.
But can you have kids?
So with my status, it's 50-50. I don't know because of certain.
Why 50-50?
Certain characteristics.
Don't you come when you sleep with your girlfriend?
So that is not the main factor. So when you look at the testicles, if they are not in the right position for some time, it will compromise that possibility. So that is why it is that 50-50.
What did the doctors told you? They said 50-50, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I see.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, thank you so much for talking to us on SBTV Africa. Do you have any last message or something else, something you want to put across that we can sign out for explaining all this thing to us, educating us, and letting us know all these things?
Thank you so much. I think my last words is that people should not feel lazy to research. I think they can learn more about intersex even just by researching and just finding out deeper what it means to be intersex. Because I think, like we've shared, there are over 40 variations. And for you to have a better understanding of something, you need to dig deeper and just understand those things. Then for the intersex persons, they are not alone, they are not cased, they are beautifully and wonderfully made in the image of God. And as such, they should learn to love themselves and go out there, explore. They can be whoever they want to be in this life. Their only limitation, as I always say, is their imagination.
Okay. Mfatso Sakala, thank you so much from Zambia for passing through SBTV Africa. Okay.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you so much for having me.
Next time we'll call you again when we don't understand something, okay?
No problem. No problem.
Okay, nice one. Nice one. We thank him so much for passing through SBTV Africa, explaining, telling us more about his life and his status and all that. At least today we've learned something. Sometimes you bring other things and then you discuss to know. We are all learning gradually. This platform is open to all. If you want to come on our show, my numbers are on the screen. 0244 790-902 or 0240-677-898. If you are in Ghana and you are far from me, we can do it via online if you have strong internet. If you want to come to studio too, I can bring you to studio and others. Let's have a chat. I'll thank my production team, DJ Click, Sharon, and Tina. Subscribe to our channel if you like our videos. Watch out for more. Peace out.
Running errands in Ghana? Don't worry anymore. Sumafo is a mobile app that enables you to run errands in Ghana in a safe, affordable, and fast way. Our services are caring and assistance services. We'll visit your elderly relatives and connect them to needed healthcare. Errand services will buy and send groceries, birthday cakes, supplies to homes, offices, and schools. Confirmation services will provide third-party confirmation video for contractors' work, and personal representation services will represent you at functions such as funerals and marriages. Download the Sumafo app on Google and iOS stores and enjoy the convenience of running errands in Ghana at your fingertips. Sumafo, send your love home.
Welcome to Second Generation IT Group. Hello, my name is Ferdinand Asamoah, Director of Second Generation IT Group. We've been in business for the past 5 years, and we have a lot of clients who have come through the school and they're doing pretty well. We offer 18 weeks of cyber course, which runs for every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And people ask, why Second Generation IT Group? offer different courses in cyber. Cyber is kind of big, so we offer risk management, we offer FISCOM, we offer cloud computing, we offer pen testing, and we also offer Splunk. Courses are offered virtually. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can just join the course without any. It's very convenient for everybody. You can reach us on our social media. You can reach us on Facebook, you can reach us on Instagram, and you can also reach us on our website, which is Second Generation IT Group LLC.com, the company that provides beyond excellence.